Hi, my name is Chelsea Morgan, and I'm here to present my psychotherapy video project. So, my case study is about my clients, Hal and Pete. They've been living together for several years. Hal and Pete is a homosexual couple, but they don't see their homosexuality as something that needs to be cured. Recent problems within their relationship have caused them to reach to a point where they are unsatisfied within themselves and their lives. Pete has an unfulfilling desire to be loved and is fearful that Hal will leave him if he is unable to satisfy him. Pete's unfulfilling desire, he says, also comes from when he was younger. His parents never gave him the complete love and approval that he felt like he truly needed. His fear of Hal leaving him comes from the fact that Hal constantly says that he's too demanding, and Pete he said he doesn't try to be too demanding, but he just feels like he needs that love, that constant love and approval, and he's scared that Hal's just gonna leave him if he doesn't do what he can to satisfy him. And it really tears him up inside because he needs that love and approval and he needs his partner. Hal feels like his love is not good enough because he has to constantly prove it to Pete. Hal feels like no matter what he says and what he does to and for Pete, it's just never ever good enough, which in turn makes Hal feel like he's just not good enough for Pete and just not good enough for love, period. And Hal, he hates feeling like this, so he's just at a point where it's either he can fix it or he has to leave it alone. So I chose reality therapy because reality therapy, it's pretty much perfect. It focuses on unsatisfying relationships or lack of, which is often the cause of clients' problems. The problem that we have here is Pete and Hal's ongoing um, unsatisfaction within their selves and their relationship. Reality therapy provides a choice system for helping individuals take more effective control of their lives. So it's not so much about finding fault with the cause of the problems, but it's more so about what choices and what responsibilities can the individual make to fix their relationships, their troubling relationships with people that they hold very close to them, which will in turn fix their problems. In reality therapy, we have this thing called the choice theory. The choice theory says that we are born with 5 genetically encoded needs that drive our lives: love and belonging, survival or self preservation, freedom or independence, power or inner control, and fun and enjoyment. Some needs overpower others in certain individuals. It all varies. This theory teaches that our needs are satisfied throughout our life's experiences. Throughout life, we create a quality world based on specific images in our minds of what we want and ways that we can satisfy them. In this case, Hal and Pete, they both struggle with the need to love and belong. So that is just a little bit more in them than all the other 5 genetic needs. Pete's quality world consists of having a complete sense of love and approval from his partner Hal, and also from other people that he forms very close personal relationships with. Also, in his quality world, he will feel like he can trust that Hal really loves him, really approves of him, and really trusts that Hal would stay with him. Hal's quality world paints a picture where Pete is secure of Hal's love and approval. Hal would no longer feel inadequate of loving Pete, and then he would no longer feel inadequate as a human being. So my job as a therapist is simply here to guide the clients towards satisfying their current relationships, which will in turn satisfy their problems. I'm not here to diagnose people. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to argue or any of that. I'm just here to guide them to make them the right choices and to take responsibility to let them understand that this is your life, that you can only control things that you can do. You can't control other things that are beyond you and yourself. So I'm just here to help them prioritize their wants that can satisfy their quality world. And that's it. So up next, we will have we'll have my role play. Hello, Hal and Pete. I understand that you guys have been having some issues in your relationship, and you just come to the point where things need to change.
Yes, as of the past few months, I have been so terrified of Hal leaving me. I just want to satisfy him, but he says that I am too demanding. When honestly, I just want to be loved. I try not to get on his nerves because I love him and I need him to love me, and it's not that easy. I have always felt the need to be loved and accepted, especially since my parents never fulfilled those feelings in me. Now it's all that I need, and if I can't get it from the person I love, what's the point of living?
Honestly, I'm just exhausted. I feel like I always have to prove my love and myself to Pete. For him, it's never enough, and it ends up making me feel like I'm not good enough good enough to love him or anyone in that case. It hurts me to pieces to know someone, especially my partner, is upset with me. If I can't stop feeling like I'm not good enough for Pete, then I can't be with him anymore.
It sounds to me like you're both struggling with feelings of inadequacy. What I need both of you to do first is to let go of those negative feelings. Like every couple, you're going to fight and feel like your relationship has taken a turn for the worse. But that's okay because it's normal. Trust me, I have dealt with similar issues within my own relationships, and I'm telling you, with patience, understanding of your life, and what you want from it and your lover, everything will get better. What exactly is it that you guys want to gain from this session?
I just want to get us back to where we used to be. Pete was always so good to me and never made me feel like I had to prove more. We were happy and my love was enough for him.
I want to stop feeling like I need to be loved constantly and to learn to trust the love I receive from my partner and eventually anyone else that is close to me. I also want Hal to stop feeling like I'm demanding too much of him.
Pete, looking at the relationship, do you feel like you have a sense of control?
I feel like I can somewhat control Hal's action toward me. I feel like if I'm too demanding or needy, then that makes him act unloving and mean to me. But then sometimes I feel helpless because I try to do what he expects of me, and it's just not enough.
And Hal, what about you? What do you feel like you have control over?
To be honest, I feel like I have no control because nothing I do is right.
Well, I first want you two to realize that you can only control yourselves and the actions that you do. Pete, you cannot control how much love and approval Hal shows you. Only thing you can control is how you perceive and accept it. And Hal, you cannot control how Pete feels about the love and approval you give to him. Only thing you can do is give him your sincere and honest self. If he trusts you or not, it's simply out of your hands. Once you realize these things, your lives will be a lot simpler. Pete, what is your ideal image of this relationship in terms of the current problems you are having now?
Ideally, I see myself feeling good and secure. I feel accepted and loved all the time.
And Hal?
I see myself just being enough, like I said how it used to be. I do so much for Pete. I tell him I love him whenever I can, and I always mean it. I make him breakfast. I ask about his day when he gets home from work. I buy him little random gifts to show him I am always thinking of him. My ideal world, I see myself still doing those things, and Pete is satisfied with me.
I noticed that's the second time you've mentioned the past, Hal. I too noticed that you, Pete, have blamed your feelings of not being loved and accepted on your parents. You guys need to think in the present and think about the choices you're making now. Only way to fix them is to start choosing to do things differently. Pete, I want you to stop thinking about the way your parents made you feel and start seeing Hal as your lover who genuinely loves you. I want you to start seeing Hal's actions and words for what they really are. Love. I need you to be more understanding of Hal and stop thinking about how life has treated you in the past. You cannot control the past, only what happens to you now. You are currently rejecting all love and attention that Hal shows you, and you're not going to get what you want if you reject it. Open your eyes and see your lover for who he really is. Hal, I want you to stop doing anything extra that may feel forced just because you have to prove something to Pete. Do anything that is genuine, because if it's real and from the heart, it will be more than evident, and then there will be nothing left to prove. I also need you to stop calling Pete demanding, because that only breeds negativity.
Yeah, it's starting to make sense. I do often think about the way I felt growing up and compare it to the way I feel now. I haven't really been paying attention to all the good Hal does for me. I only focus on the negatives.
Thank you so much. I see what you're saying, and I realize I do have control, and only over myself and what I say and do. I know I love Pete, and I know that this relationship can work.
Yes, just be positive and remember to think wisely and make the right choices that you can so you can help to move forward towards your ideal relationship.